this video is about to use the skills, commands, and features you learned in the short guided learning lecture. Give a chance to practice these skills using Solid Edge to create a model for your final assignment. The dimension of this nut model is given in the CAD tutorial instruction of week 6. If the dimensions appears here, you need to follow these dimensions. If there's a dimension such as the angle of the chamfers and the dimension of the chamfers, you need either follow the instructions or make yourself. Let's start with a Solid Edge. After you open the Solid Edge, click on New, and click on the GBmetric part. If you see the screen like this without reference plane, you can check this checkbox to make this appear. Otherwise, you can go straight to the extrude to start from the front plane to create a construction profile to be used to create a hexagon shape. This construction profile is a circle. We use a circle by center point and click the command, move to the center of the coordinate system, click, drag away. The dimension for that one is 18. Okay. Right click to cancel the command. Make sure it's 18. You click on Smart Dimension and click on the circle. Okay, and click. It's 18. Right. The next step is to create 6 lines around it. Use the line command. Okay. So first line you can click and drag, just close, not touch it, and click again. Right click to cancel this command. Draw another line around it, click and drag away. Click, right click to cancel command. Make sure when you click, it's not, you could actually go far away from it, not too close to the circle, long enough. And then not get the line into the circle, just outside, and click, right click, cancel it. Draw another line, click, not touch, not in, and click, right click, cancel. Line can be quite long, and click, right click, last line now, click, and click, right click, cancel it. So now we have 6 lines. The next step is to make the lines tangent to the circle by using this tangent command. Click the line, click the circle. Click the line, click circle. You see a small circle there. It means the straight line, click circle is tangent to it. So just keep doing this until you have all 6 lines tangent to the circle. Right. So we use these constraints to make sure the lines are tangent to the circle. We need to use another constraint, which is called a parallel, to make the line, the opposite lines, parallel to each other. And these lines also need to parallel with a horizontal line. Okay, then we make the opposite lines parallel to each other. Opposite lines parallel to each other. Right, these are constraints. The next step is to use the dimensions to configure these hexagon shape. Okay, we use angle between. Then we can set the angle between this line and this line. Just click and drag it away and click again. Now we into the dimension, which is 120. All right, we do the same. Click and click, and we do the same for between this line and this line, and drag away. Click, type in 120 and press enter. You can see now we have all 6 lines around it. The next step is to remove the extra lines we don't need. So we use this command called trim off. Extra lines. Just approach the line and click, approach the line and click. Right. Now we have appropriate hexagon shape. In the case you want to change the dimension, like the size of the hexagon shape, you can just click on the dimension here. In the case you want to change the dimensions, you click on the select, you click on dimension here, then you can change it to larger. So only one dimension change will get the change for the whole hexagon shape. That is why we need to use this construction profile. Right. So you need to keep this construction profile if you want to change the dimension later on. The way to keep this construction profile is to change it, to turn it into construction line. So use this command. So as this is a circle, stay away from the protrusion. Right. Let's change this dimension back to 18. Right. Now we can do the extrusion. Click. And if you don't click a mouse and you can move the mouse, you can see it can be extruded. The thickness of the nut is 8. So put in 8 in the distance box, type return, click on finish, click on cancel. Then you have the hexagon shape here. The next step after this one is to make a threaded hole in the middle. We have learned how to use this cut to make a hole, but we have another command, it's called hole command. The difference between the cut and the hole, both can make cylindrical holes, but the hole command allows you to add other features like countersink, counterbore, and thread. So if you want to make a threaded hole, you need to use the hole command rather than the cut command. Click on this. You also can see other thread command. Okay, threaded rod, thread hole, etc. So we use a hole because we're going to make a hole. So click on that one. Then you click on the reference plane, you create this hexagon shape. Right? Then you can, before you actually click anywhere with this circle, okay, you need to actually move to here to click this whole option. It will pop up a window, allows you to choose a threaded, countersink, counterbore, etc. What the shape of the hole. Okay, so we are going to do a threaded. So that's one we're going to create. You can see the threaded lines here. You also can change the feature of the thread by configure these things. You also can change the dimensions to the right dimension. In our case, we need to do that to make it as a 12, standard 12, okay? Without actually times, this is the 1.5 millimeter thread, 1.25 millimeter thread, 1 millimeter thread. Oh, this defines the size of the thread. We do thread a standard 12. Now you need to actually check this box if you want the thread go all the way through or you want to limit it. If it's all the way through, you have to click this bullet point. These are the other features like the chamfers on each side. You can do this here with offset and with the checkbox clicked, or you can do it afterwards when you finish the hole. Okay, we do that afterwards. I leave that you to do that afterwards. Click OK. Now you can move your mouse to the center of the system and click. Now you can click without click any further click, and you can click this close sketch. Here you have options to have the hole go one direction, both directions, and other direction. So we need to actually make sure both directions, the arrow appears, and click. Right, then you can go finish. You can see the thread is made it and hole with a hole. Hole is made with a thread. Right, okay, the next step is we are going to use a command called reverb cut. Right, this command to make a corner cut around one side of the nuts. Sometimes both sides, but we do one side this time. You need to actually select this plane rather than the plane, this plane vertical to the flat surface of the nut, rather than the others, like this one is in parallel with the nuts. That one is a point to the corner of the nuts, but you need this one. Click. Right. Now you can use a line command to add a line right from the corner, the point, endpoint pairs, and drag within the side of this axis. Click. Doesn't really matter the length. I right click, cancel the command. Now you need to use a command called angle between to set the angle between this line and this line. Click and click and click again. Type in 30. Right. So this is the dimension hasn't been given by the drawing. You need to do this by follow this dimension. Then you need select a command called axis of revolution. Click on this one, and that is your axis of revolution. Click and click close sketch. Now you have a chance to have reverb cut to cut this side of nuts or this side of nuts. Obviously, this side nuts will cut everything out, leave the corner. But if you want to cut the corner, you have to have that side. Okay, don't click when you actually arrow is not been pointed to the right direction. Okay, when it's pointed to the right direction, you can click. You'll see here, the corner is cut. Let me turn this mode around. Okay, see, when you move your mouse without hold the key down, you can see it cut. You click on 360 command. All corners are cut. Then you click on finish, click on cancel. You have the nut made. And in addition to that, you need to actually add the chamfers to all the sharp edges. The chamfers has to be in the appropriate dimension. you need to use your common engineering science to actually to make the size properly. I will leave that to you to complete. That's it for this video.